Good evening, fans. Hello. Good evening to everyone out there. It's your muse, Charmaine. For any of you that don't know me, I am the creator of Absolutely Jamaican. It's such a wonderful privilege to represent you all on this medium and also to bring you amazing news on Jamaica and just connect on a whole. How's everyone doing out there? I hope you're all doing well. Folks, I hope your weekend has been wonderful. I know we go back to work tomorrow, but hey, today let's live life. Let's give thanks. Let's just embrace all things good and just be happy. As you know, on Sunday evenings, I'm going to try to come to you all live and give you news about Jamaica. Okay, so let's kind of circle back. And how's everyone doing, by the way? I want to touch on a story that we spoke about last weekend. This story has devastated me personally. It's about the murder of Karen Cleary in Jamaica. A devastating, devastating story about a wonderful British woman or a British national. She was born in Jamaica, West Indies. Hi, Karina. Hi, Anito. How are you? Welcome to Absolutely Jamaican. Karen Cleary went down to Jamaica, folks, and she was in the midst of building her dream home. This home was the house of her dreams in St. Mary. She was working hard to put this home together, and she was murdered. She was actually murdered supposedly in the kitchen of her home and buried in her backyard by the caretaker of the home. Now, I brought this story to you all last week with as much details as possible. There was a little bit of confusion. Was her significant other her husband, her boyfriend? Regardless, she had lost her life. But unfortunately, the plot thickened on this story, unfortunately. Just to kind of get you all up to date, and if you see me looking this way, folks, I have another monitor, so I'm reading some details for you. Hi, Jessie. How are you? The devastated husband of a beautician stabbed to death in the kitchen of her dream Jamaican home has spoken of how they were planning a wonderful, wonderful life together. Ken Brown said that the body of his spouse, Karen Cleary Brown, was discovered buried in the garden of her property, folks, in Boscobel area at St. Mary on the Caribbean island of Jamaica. So again, her body was discovered. It was a confession. They had been looking for her for days, and they could not find her, okay? The 44-year-old had been missing since November 25th, folks, and was found by police on Monday after the killer confessed to her murder and led detectives to the grave. Supposedly, it was said that, folks, that they would have never found her body because this grave was covered in cement. All right. So once again, they were able to get a confession. So at this point now, the Jamaican team comes in, and it's now time to excavate and take out her body, which they did. So speaking to the Press Association, her husband said they had been living in Islington, North London, and have been married since 2004. And that dealing with the news of her murder was not easy, which is understandably so, folks. When I heard this story break, I was just devastated because unfortunately our island has been plagued with many murders, not just those returning to Jamaica, but our own, Jamaican man, woman, child living in the island. We are plagued by just horrible, horrible situations like these. Her husband says, I am just devastated. She was building her dream home, and we had planned this wonderful life together, said the 65-year-old husband. Now, folks, when I read this story, again, after it was updated, I said, 65-year-old husband. I could have sworn that this husband was significantly younger. And I could have sworn that I was reading that it was actually her boyfriend. And then I was seeing feeds about husbands. Husband, folks, the plot thickened. The inside scoop about the whole scenario is she had a boyfriend and a husband in London, two completely different white men. One, the husband, who she's been married to for years, was at 65-year-old, and there was another younger man. So God rest her soul. I'm not casting any shade, but Karen, unfortunately, was living a double life. And this was uncovered, unfortunately, in her death. Hello, Jessie. You're welcome. Jessie says, thank you for representing Jamaica. I like your page. And hopefully soon I'll be able to visit the island from one island to another. Absolutely, Jessie, we would love to have you. Sending love to the people of Jamaica. Thank you, Jessie. We really appreciate you. It was a very, very devastating scenario, her husband said. She was coming back in January, and then we were going to go for a big holiday around Thailand, he said. The future was bright. Mr. Brown, who is currently, as we speak, in Jamaica, said the man who has confessed to her murder had been working on the property and that he stabbed her to death in the kitchen. He described how after being arrested by the police, he eventually led the officers to where he had buried her body. Now, folks, this entire story took a major, major twist when it was uncovered that not only did Karen have this husband, Mr. Brown, she also had a significantly younger boyfriend. So a lot of media sources are saying that the whole story is a bit fishy. And another dichotomy of the story that has been uncovered is the fact that the caretaker on the premises is also a very, very shady figure in her life. The caretaker, folks, is seen around Jamaica all the time in her Benz, kind of like a for him vehicle. Do you allow a caretaker at your property to drive your vehicle around Jamaica when you're there, when you're out of town, like a him-controlled vehicle? Well, unfortunately, that part of the story is also very unfortunate, currently still unfolding, and it doesn't look good. There is a strong possibility that the caretaker could also be a lover. And if that's the case, yes, this is murder, but this is now unfolding to sound like a crime of passion. You can't, listen, and to all my fans out there of multiple ethnicities, whether it be Africa, whether it be India, whether it be China, whether your skin white or black, our motto in Jamaica is out of many one people. That's our motto. We're not born in a country where the color of your skin is a scandal. We are out of many one people, right? So when I make the next statement, please, folks, don't take this personal. You can play two white men, right? A 60-odd-year-old older fellow and a 40-odd-year-old older fellow. You can go on and play them, but try play a Jamaican little man that I push that Benz and I clean up your yard and I pick up all your mess while you're out of town. Try play that, the brother. It not gonna end well. When you juggle people, somebody will get hurt. Wanna know what somebody mean? Somebody is going to get hurt. And unfortunately, this wasn't just hurt. This woman lost her life, folks. You're not gonna get nowhere. I juggle various lover. What you do in the darkness will ultimately always come to life, folks. And it's unfortunate. No, get me wrong. It hurts my heart and pains my heart that she lost her life, but the plot thickens. We get bad name in Jamaica. A lot of times, and I'm not saying all of the murders in Jamaica originate with such background and such dramatic trifecta of stories. I'm not saying that. But there's a large majority of folks that lose their life that them just give them life. This is a woman in her late 40s. I am not judging anyone. Only God can judge us. But in your late 40s, I don't like anybody to typecast me and tell me what I can wear, what I cannot wear, how I should look, what kind of earring me should I wear, how me makeup should I lay. I don't like anyone telling me that. But as a woman in her late 40s, there's a certain way that one must carry themselves. You are eternally sexy. You are eternally beautiful. If you can still wear your high heel, them galang. But there's a certain decorum, is the word I want to say, that you need to have as an older woman. You understand me? And the pictures that I saw of Karen, half naked, you know, pum shorts looking thing, body rider, tight jeans, belly kin, that just went hot up man blood in Jamaica, especially a brother who on the come up. A little caretaker, yo, he might try catch a nice one, English girl, and we can push our bends, and we can just clean up our little yard for her, and lay down some good, you know what? Me I go take advantage of that. You understand me? You see me? So folks, nobody go a yard and think say you play the little man, because the little man is a dangerous man and a little man, right? So again, let's circle back to this story. It's just something didn't smell good about this story when I began to read it. When I saw her pictures, when I saw the dressing and the flashiness and the big car them and the big gate and the weave and the, you know, and the labrish and the guani, that is just way too much excite createment. You don't know when name excite createment? Show up the hearts if you don't know what me I talk about. That is just way too much excite createment. And you don't need that. You don't need that. Right? Jamaica is filled with folks that will take advantage. And it's not just Jamaica. I'm speaking about my country, the land of my birth. You feel me? So you can't go down there. If you go down to Jamaica, you need to go up on the sly. You need to go quiet. Nobody needs to know when you're arriving. You don't need to post it on Facebook. You don't need to post it on Instagram. You don't need to go on in your fresh gear, your Balenciaga and your Versace and your Gucci. Because man will just set you up and rob you. You see me? You have to be humble. Come quiet, live quietly, enjoy your country, do right, live good by yourself, know your worth. And I'm not saying Karen Cleary did not know her worth, but here's my take on it. Any woman who had juggled 3 different men, unless you're a nympho, right, it no look good. And it now gonna end up good. Number one, I find the 2 British man them questionable. Me not lie to you. Me find the 2 of them questionable. Because in my head, me I said to myself, I wonder if it's a collaboration. I wonder if the brother them just collaborate and say, yo, check this out, right? Mr. Brown, she a play you and she a play me. And you know she have a $1.5 million life insurance. Now, guys, I don't know if she has a life insurance, but she seemed like a together chick financially, right? What if the 2 man them come together and just say, we need to just dust she out, and this is how we are going to do it? You see me? Number 1. Number 2, the little man in Jamaica. Let me tell you something. My granny raised me to not underestimate anyone. You see that statement we say, the little man? Don't underestimate anyone in Jamaica or anyone in life, period. That same individual that you underestimate could equate to your demise. Nobody flip up and flap up and race up this brother because maybe now the house is coming to a final finish up state, or maybe now you want to bring down your boyfriend and you just tell him, yo, check this out. Thank you very much for caring to me for my place and such, but you need to go. You need to go now. You can't drive my vehicle anymore. You're not really even putting gas in my vehicle. You need to go. And a man just say, how you mean me mean to go? Number one, you're not paying me well. Number two, me I lay down some good hood. Guys, this is grown up time. If the picnic them are watch, tell the picnic them leave the room. Me I give you some good, you know what? And you have the audacity to tell me, say, me must leave you, so? No. This is as much as my place as it is your place. You're going to have to run me out of here. Me going to have to run you out of here? And my place, this way I deal with. And guess what? You ever hear about somebody just crack? No, I'm not making any excuses, guys. But have you ever heard of a man or a woman just crack to rotted? You have pushed this person to the limit. Once you intermix sex, money, lack of, come up, man never even have a vehicle before probably. Man a push Benz, man is seen all over town driving this Benz. And you are going to take this away from him when you done made a promise that them the white man over there, so them a dibby, them a fool, man. Them a fool. Them a fool? Folks, the story does not end well. The plot thickens, and I know you guys are throwing up all the comments here. Woo! I watch SoFlo Dexter all the time. SoFlo TV is amazing, guys, on YouTube. I have to collab with this brother. This brother broke down the story to a T. That's why me not judge every story me here coming out of Jamaica. A lot of times, something in a something. You know, feel me? Something in a something. It's not all the time a criminal just bust in and just clap out a few people well or something not right. And this story didn't smell good. Come to find out, a family member in Jamaica said, since I have known Karen don't keep anything less than 2 man. At any given time, a 2 man plus she have. Guys, it's not gonna end well, right? You know, live good, live right. If you don't want there with this your one year, it's not about the come up, people. Your life will end. It's about living right and doing good. And doing good, folks, is not juggling a bag of man or a bag of woman. If it's not going to kill you disease-wise, it's going to kill you because somebody going to pop off, right? And another subject I want to touch on when we speak about this story, we as Jamaicans always underrate mental illness, right? Mental illness is rampant in the world, if not Jamaica. We've all known or seen a madman. We've all known somebody in our community in Jamaica, you know, say Miss Birch's son. He mad, you know. Him do all day long. Him sit down on the fence out there so seaside and I talk to himself. You know, here when him a talk to himself, all him a say a brown cow, red cow, yellow cow. I'm like, what are you talking about? And yes, that same madman that them say was walking up and down and I talk about different color cow. Me hear him one day. Brown cow, black cow, yellow cow, red cow. Mad. And we as Jamaicans, we can't wrap our head around mental illness. Yes, there are people that crack, like possibly the caretaker just cracked rotted. But there are people that show ongoing signs of, you ever hear somebody say, you know what, him not too righted. You ever hear that statement there? It's because something is not right. He's either schizoid, schizophrenic. He's been showing certain qualities of just not being right most of his life. And you are inveigle this individual around you, in your house, him asleep in your house, him a push your Benz, him probably trong because him a take care of the yard, and you just let off a piece here or there. Listen, not every man can deal with a piece here or there without popping off. Not even a woman. You ever hear a woman just lose it and go postal when she said, yeah, man, I can deal with the fact that you have a, you have a husband. It's okay. I'll take as much or as little as you as I can get. When a thing named feeling step in, folks, you not take no little or nothing. You will stalk the brother. You will show up at the brother yard. You will try bug the brother phone. You will try bug the brother car because you catch feelings. You understand me? So unfortunately, somebody here posted, you reap what you sow, right? Leash, I think that's Aisha or McDonald Brooks says, I agree with you. You don't have to be naked to be sexy. Absolutely not, folks. Who ever told you all that sexiness equated to kin? Sexiness is swag. Sexiness is pep in step. Sexiness is how you speak, your lingo, your passion, things you do, things you say. Sexiness is not just what you wear. Anybody who feels like them have to brandish up them goods for catch man, it's not gonna end up well, because at the end of the day, just like your old grandparents' adage, right? Leave something to a guy's imagination, no? Make him kind of wonder. Right, me notice she look good, in her denim and her little wife beater and her pashmina, her shawl and thing, but me go woo her a little bit more, because me don't like to see her, naked. Well, nowadays, folks, there's not much left to the imagination. The way how the young gal them go out nowadays, there's not much left to the imagination. Tony says he's enjoying my words. Thank you, Tony Neal. Shirley Wilson says, did the killer state the reason for killing her? Regardless of the lifestyle, we don't know why he committed such a heinous act. You know what, Shirley? I don't know if there's been a confession as yet. Folks are talking. Folks have seen the movement. I guess the story will continue to develop. It doesn't make any excuse. This is no excuse for a heinous act, folks. What I'm saying is, don't give folks a reason. Me not say cloak up like none. I'm not saying you need to cloak up like none. I am just saying, folks, know your worth. Women, know your worth. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your lifestyle. Have more respect for your body. I know how much man you can bounce off. Unless you're a nymphoid, as I said, and you need therapy, there's absolutely no excuse to juggle man in this day and age, right? There is no shortage of man. Yes, I understand this, although some people beg to differ. But guess what? What you gonna do? Shorten your life? Because now you're rip and run with all them, your man, yeah? Eventually it will catch up with you, folks. Lonnie says, okay. And Marcia Finn just circles back and says, ho. And I can understand how somebody feels that way, folks, but we are surrounded by folks that do the same kind of thing and get away with it, right? Roland says, I said that I was thinking of a first 48 hours. I know. Hey, John Campbell, welcome. Latoya says, that hardly happens in Jamaica, life insurance fraud. Chris Lewis says, no, you're not being objective. You're saying her dressing style and her assets contributed to her death. Evil is evil. Yes, double dipping can lead to the person's death, but still that doesn't justify one's death. Okay, let me circle back, Chris. Chris, I am not saying that her dressing period equated to her death. It didn't make the whole scenario any palatable, right? It doesn't matter what you wear. I understand this. And it doesn't explain or it doesn't negate the fact that she lost her life. What I'm saying is have more respect for yourself at that particular stage in your life. It doesn't sound right. Evil is in fact evil, but guys, I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm aware of how to carry myself. I'm not going down to Jamaica as a 40-odd-year-old woman, 247, half naked, in a one big house with the caretaker push my vehicle. I'm just saying that you got to be more sensible about how you're living your life, right? Latoya says he snapped. Tom Neal says you always need to know just who you're dealing with. Folks, do we ever totally know who we're dealing with? And Tom, that's an awesome comment that you make there. But do we ever totally know? Did she know that this guy would snap? 8 times, 9 times out of 10, probably not. You know, but yes, we do need to be more aware of who we are dealing with, right? The best we can to save life, to save face. It's important. Shirley says, boy, Jamaicans not easy, sir. Were any of us there coming up with all kinds of scenarios as to how, why? Guys, this is freedom of speech. This doesn't have to be your opinion, doesn't have to be my opinion. It doesn't have to be the media's opinion. It's called conversations. It's called talking to each other. It's called hashing things out. Nothing here is set in stone, guys. Don't take anything personal. But I'm not apologizing for my opinions. You're entitled to your opinions. I'm not apologizing. I'm just saying that it burned me when someone loses their life. And I just feel it's many of us give our life away. That's my opinion, right? If you agree, cool. If not, that's understandable, right? This is about conversing and hashing things out and talking about the state of affairs, current events, a current story. Let's see here. And TJ said, if you no gossa, if it no gossa, it near gossa. Hortense says, you have the facts. You don't have the facts. You have no facts. It's an assumption. We understand that, Hortense. And Heather said, we appreciate you talking about this story because in the UK, you are only getting one side of the story. We appreciate you bringing light to all the issues involved. And guys, the story is growing. The story has various legs. I am just kind of bringing you a smidgen of what's out there in the media. You all can read for yourself. You can watch SoFlo on YouTube. He has an amazing page. He'll speak more about this story. Crystal says, listen to what she's saying. How are you going crazy and you ain't crazy? Beauty is in the frame of mind. TJ, here. So Shirley says, so is the spurned lover cause him no go get nothing more, or the white men them from foreign conspire for insurance, or the strong black lover in Jamaica mad? Just stop. The generation don't think so. So, and Chris says, correlation is never causation. The murderer might have had access to the car or might have well-being of themselves, are not enough to say why he killed her. We're just speculating. Of course, we're just speculating, right? And we are allowed to speculate, right? How you dress is what you attract. And Janet, that's an old adage that will never go out of style. I am not supporting anybody that will tell me, you know what, You can't just wear whatever and you go still get respect. You understand? Me respect woman, not just show them goods. Have you ever heard a man really just say, I have the utmost respect for that half-naked woman? Have you ever heard that? Come on, guys. Regardless of how it looks and sounds and feels, it's just facts. No man want any woman for themselves at a flip and a flap up that much. It's not cool. What are you saving for him? Why are you still flipping and flapping up if you have someone, right? People should not use people, period. TJ, that's so true. Barbie says, preach, sister. Tamika says, I think having plenty man comes from a low self-esteem. It stems from her, maybe it stemmed from her childhood, not having love and affection from her family. That is so incredibly true. Promiscuity and having various men can stem from a broken childhood. Tony said, it's not right. Everyone is saying this and saying that, and people only make assumptions. You can't assume. We need to have more facts, and more police might get everything out of him and hear the real bottom story. Of course, we're all waiting to hear what the true story is, if we ever get a true story. Because let's face it, most people that commit crimes go to their grave with the true story, right? I'm just saying, this is a sad story. And again, Beanie says, people not taking heed, no matter how you want them. Heather says, you're right. Michelle says, they never look normal. TJ says, you can never know a person. Sonia says, I agree. This is a needed conversation. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying this is a needed conversation. Why are we in a society where we can't talk? We can't talk, people. We can't sound ludicrous. We can make up scenarios that we think maybe it goes so. We can learn from horrible situations like this, how maybe to govern ourselves, how to teach our children to govern themselves. I don't have a daughter, but if I had a daughter, I'm going to kill her with affection and love. Hopefully her father will do the same, because I want her to know her worth. Your worth is not governed by a jar of bleaching cream, a bag full of weave, or designer clothing. Your worth is not governed by that stuff, for folks. And skin, it's not governed by that. You must know your worth. There is certain woman that man don't really too shag with them too tough. Because guess what? She bowed it. She bowed it, they say in America. Me can't shag with that the one there. She too sensible. Right? Or she, listen, it's a double-edged sword when you're a hardworking woman. As a hardworking woman, you would say to yourself, you know what? I would prefer just to get everything given to me. I am tired of working. Guys, there's a price for everything. Nothing in life is free. So if you're looking for a handout, you're going to compromise something else in your life, which is why the average Jamaican woman, she ain't waiting for no handout. She's getting hers because she comes from a line of hard-working women who know their worth, know their value. And as my grandmother, Miss Birdie, did say, Charmian, when you introduce a man to your life, guess what? You introduce him into your life to make your life a little bit sweeter, right? Not to fulfill it. You need to enter into that relationship as close to fulfilled as possible. So when he gets the message is, she's fulfilled. I'm here to complement her life. I want to make her happy. But she set. My mission is, let's see if we can work together, right? Nobody nyam out nobody. This is 2018. Nyam out gone with the big belly man era. Nyam out gone. Them your man you nowadays, them not, no, that don't work, right? Najila says, talk about NDS and what is this NWO crap. Okay. And let's see. Michelle says facts. TJ says word. And Beanie says, yes, my sister, I'm a queen. So guys, her husband, Karen's husband, has praised the efforts of the Jamaican police and said that they have kept him informed throughout the entire process, revealing that some of the officers have been touched by what has happened. And understandably so, guys. This is a horrible, horrible case. Mr. Brown also said from England that his wife, who lived in Britain for over 20 years, had indefinite leave to remain, was determined to build her home, which she had been working on for more than 7 years. How sad is this? More than 7 years. And would often head to her native Jamaica for periods of time to do so. Describing her as someone who liked to laugh, he added, she was an excellent, excellent cook. She loved cooking meals. All right? So there's the human side. We are not perfect. No one is allowed to judge us. Only God can judge us. We have great qualities. Home those qualities, right? Live in the light, folks. Darkness does not become us. Responding to reports that a man called Andy Kane was her partner, this is the guy, folks, that we had initially seen. Mr. Brown said this is not correct and that they were, in fact, just friends, right? The death of Mrs. Cleary Brown comes 6 months after a British couple, Charlie and Gail Anderson from Manchester, were murdered at their Manchester home. Folks, it doesn't negate the fact that this is a very, very sad story. And Miracle Cowser said, ain't nothing free. You got to give up something to get something. Suzanne says, having an opinion is our right, even if we don't agree. Respect yourself and respect others, but never let them take your power. Absolutely, folks. So again, I think we've spent a lot of time on this story. Again, whether you call it speculation, this is stuff that is in the mainstream media in Jamaica. This is nothing invented. And sometimes stories uncover stuff that doesn't feel good, right? And it's time for us to stop making excuses and have our eyes wide open. Stop walking around with your blinders on, folks. Take down those blinders and govern yourself accordingly when you're traveling, whether it be Jamaica, whether it be another country, whether it be the United States, whether it be going to the grocery store. I'm not saying that you can't be all you want to be, and if that's what you're about, do you and live life, but be safe and be sensible about it. TJ says she also owned her own beauty business here. So TJ is in England. And yes, TJ, that's really sad to know that, because I'm sure she worked hard and she was probably excellent at what she did. Well, rest in peace, Karen. We here at Absolutely Jamaican, you know, we feel this story to the bottom of our hearts. I'm just saying the facts sometimes don't feel good, folks, but the facts are the facts. Let's look at some other lead stories that are out there, folks, and we'll see what else is going on. We have a story that broke, I believe, yesterday in Jamaica. And the story, mother killed by cop in an act of revenge. Daughter says her mom died because her grandson, daughter says her mom died because her grandson refused the constable's homosexual advances. Breaking story out of Jamaica. News has emerged that 25-year-old District Constable Toyan Ormsby reportedly shot 62-year-old Donette Maxwell to death before turning the gun on himself as a mark of revenge after one of Maxwell's grandsons had refused the lawman's homosexual advances. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this story? to live all of your life, make it to 63, and this man just 62, and this man just kill you. Because supposedly the grandson don't want to get with you, right? The police reported that Ormsby shot and killed Maxwell of Galena St. Mary and then turned the gun on himself on Sunday, right? Yesterday, Maxwell's daughter, Cicely Bradbury, one of the deceased 3 children, told the Gleaner that contrary to reports on social media, her mother and Ormsby were not involved in a relationship. And in fact, her mother didn't even know him. How sad is this? It's all over the internet and a lot of things are being said. He's not her lover. It wasn't an argument she had with him or anything, said the daughter. She don't know him, and he knows her because of one of my son, who he wanted. The constable want the woman's son. But what is God? But she don't know him. If she did know the situation and what was taking place, probably she would know how to address it. So she opened up to him, going to him easily to tell him, just please leave the boy alone. And him shoot her and kill her and then kill himself. It never sits well with me when a perpetrator turns the gun on himself. You have some people who say, me glad him dead, him to kill himself and just done it. I find that cowardly. Here is this older woman, because 62 no old, coming to you to tell you, please leave my grandson alone. And you shot she, and then you kill yourself. In a stunning revelation, Bradbury alleged that her mother was killed as an act of revenge because one of her sons had repeatedly turned down homosexual advances from the constable. Constable was coming hard for this young man, right? And the grandson just keeps turning him down, supposedly. She admitted that her son had gotten gifts from him. You see what I mean about the plot thickening? So you don't want the constable, but you accept him, gift them. Circle back. You don't want the constable. The constable is propositioning you, and you are take gift from the constable. You're sending mixed messages, and it's not going to end well. Here we circle back again to using, or as we say in Jamaica, usage. Here we circle back again. It's not going to end well, folks. Right? Lifestyle is lifestyle. That's your business. But if you don't want there with the constable, where I take the gift them for? You idiot? You nyami. Right? Again, she admitted that the son had gotten gifts from him, but had repeatedly turned down his advances. On the internet, he put up something saying him and my son was in a relationship. My son say the guy like him and the guy gave him a laptop. A laptop in a Jamaica? Constable give you a laptop and not nagwan? This one don't sound righted. Una go come back again pan the wall and say, you know what? Una speculate. There's not much speculation needed in this one. The constable give the boy a laptop. Let's circle back. And the guy gave him a phone. Make we circle back. The constable give the boy a laptop and him techie. And give the boy a phone and him take it. And then not in a nothing. Well, guess what? Since we don't need to speculate, if them not in a nothing, The boy need to hurry up because the constable are losing patience. You feel me? Constable, nah, go keep on giving you all these gifts and you don't give him some bomb, right? This is about knowing your worth. This is about stop being nyami. And this is about knowing how to say no, right? My son said him not really in the lifestyle there, which the guy want get him in it. My son have him girlfriend. So you get the constable mixed messages. You have a girlfriend, but you take the constable laptop and you take a phone. I'm sure so the constable will pay for the phone because the constable need to talk to you and mess you up, right? Unacceptable. Know your worth. Words can't explain how I feel, she said. I wasn't looking for this at the moment because we know, say, she not in a no war with nobody. My mother not in a no war with nobody, right? Probably if she did sick and pass away, probably we could understand that. But if Noah says somebody take her life over something like this, she not even have a clue about it. She not even know the guy. She don't know what it was about. So some kind of eruption, some kind of misunderstanding, she come to the defense of her grandson. She don't really know the whole background of the story. And you with your nyami self, your grandmother lose her life. You're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life, right? Unacceptable. And it goes on, the grieving daughter said her mother had bought lunch for a young man in the lockup, which she had done several times before, as he was the son of a friend of hers. Upstanding citizen, take food to a neighbor's son in jail, and she loses her life, right? Maxwell was even supposed to leave the island in a few days, and she never made that flight, folks. May I try support my son, make him know, say, regardless of what the whole heap of critics them going to say, we can't take a next loss. If we shun him and turn we back upon him, we never can tell what might happen, she said. Mommy, that's the best thing you can do. It's already happened. It's unfortunate. The circumstances were not good, but shunning the young man will equate to more loss. If it doesn't, in the long run, because living with this for the rest of his life, I can tell you, will be devastating. The death of 62-year-old Donette Maxwell has rocked the closely knit community of Galina in St. Mary, where she was loved and well respected. For over a decade, she held a Christmas treat party for the kids of the district and also provided cooked meals for the shut-ins in the community. I can never, folks, understand why good people die. I mean, I get it. I know there's circumstances. I know it happens. She's feeding the needy and she runs a Christmas session for kids. Is there any more upstanding citizen than this, folks? It was a cousin of her daughter, Cicely Bradbury, who drove her mother to the Islington police station in St. Mary on Sunday afternoon. She had bought lunch for the son at that time for a friend who was there in lockup. While there, Maxwell was approached by District Constable Toyan Ormsby. So she's bringing food to someone needy, and the constable approaches her, who said he wanted to speak to her. She went back to the car to get her phone to store his number, as she was in a hurry to return to Galena to catch the 8-a-side football match at primary school grounds. While she went to get the number, my cousin was reversing the car. She heard the explosion. When she looked, she saw her mother leaning to one side, then dropped on her, straight on her face. Then she heard a next explosion when the constable, shot himself. Maxwell and Ormsby were found on the ground suffering from gunshot wounds. They were rushed to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Yesterday, when the Gleaner visited the home of the Maxwells, relatives were overcome with grief. Folks, what a sad, sad story. Tony Neal says, good job. Love what you're doing. Thank you, Tony. Michelle Munoz says, devil is real. Absolutely. But we rebuke the devil. TJ, no, sir, you're late. That news break from last week. Okay, I'm just seeing it. Roland McDermott, good job. Thanks again for opening more eyes. Job well done. Faustina, my God. Faustina Wright, that's a coward. Maurice says, I'm just going to read what he says. This Batman thing is getting out of control in Jamaica. Dexter says, never ends well. Dale says, licky licky. TJ says, them love likes and sweets. Dale Riley, he was a kept boy. Now his mom is dead. Michelle Munoz, desperation. TJ, did you say bomb? Yeah, I said bomb. TJ, grandmother. Dale Riley, sad either way. TJ, sad indeed. Yes, TJ. Maurice, sounds like you are making excuses for the Batman police. TJ, I'm just reading an article. I'm not making excuses for anyone, okay? Regardless of what his sexual preference is. I know, that's funny. I'm not making any excuse for anyone. Susan Virtue, if you shun him, it may mean his own death. He will be targeted and killed by the police. Gary, people in Jamaica are almost never safe. So folks, that was another really sad story I saw in the Gleaner that kind of, I don't know, that one was pretty sad also. Let's see, what else do we have in the news, folks? What else? Let's see. What else did I see out here? So guys, what do you guys think about these two stories? Are we governing ourselves properly? Are we too laid back? Let's see what some more, folks. Millicent, is that a burning candle in the background? Yes, Millicent, it's a burning candle. Marcia Henry, very sad indeed. Love hype. Maurice Henry is dying of laughter. TJ said, not me, says so. Julian said, I missed the beginning, so I'm not sure what happened. I'll try to follow more closely. TJ, Maurice. Maurice says, love you, sis. I'm just joking with you. All right, Maurice, you did make me die of laughter. Marcia Henry, you're not making any excuses. It's the truth. It's just sad. Absolutely. Well, guys, to kind of lighten the note, I don't know if we want to call this. Yesterday at Norman Manley, British man is held with 1 pound of ganja. Them hold him. 1 pound of ganja at Sangster International. Brother, I try fly out with 1 pound of ganja. A British man was yesterday arrested following the seizure of a quantity of ganja at the Sangster International Airport in Mobay. According to the police, 55-year-old Ansel Bernard, a truck driver of Birmingham, England, was about to board the flight and nearly make it. And guess what? Which he was stopped on his suitcase, searching his presence. During the search, ganja weighing approximately 1 pound was found. I think he's in personal stash, when I think. He was subsequently arrested and charged with possession of ganja, dealing in ganja. 1 pound of ganja now gonna make him too rich. So the dealing charge, me check say him could have fight that one day. And attempting to export ganja. The drug has a street value of $4,000. He is scheduled to appear before the St. James Parish Court on Friday, on December 21st. So not only that, he miss him flight and him then at the jail, me sure say rat them a gallop round and them seize the 1 pound of the ganja. All I can say is, nobody pack no drugs and try fly out. Nobody pack ganja. Because of course, ganja is not a drug. Nobody pack them kind of things and fly out. Because them will sniff it out. The drug dog them deb out. It doesn't make sense. Right? But again, this occurred yesterday. I'm sure sangsters, that's the most excitement they got for a while. Maurice said that's all he had. Yes, Maurice, 1 digga pound. Tell him to come to Canada. It is now legal. Marcia, me know. It legal in Canada. Boy, they must have burned up the place up there. Eveth says, second time listening to you, my dear. Thank you for opening in my eyes. I love it. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. Let's see. What else do we have in the news, folks? Let's kind of dive around Jamaica, see what's interesting around Jamaica. A woman in St. Elizabeth is pleading to the public for help. She says, please help me get my son back. Jamaica woman is seeking the government's help, claims her husband has her boy in India. So a St. Elizabeth woman is asking the government to help her get her son back from her husband of 11 years, who she said sold their assets and moved back to his native India, and has alienated her from her 9-year-old son after she asked him for a divorce. Shephanice Brown, 32, from Magati, said she finally found the courage to part ways with her husband after visiting his family in Mumbai, India, and seeking firsthand how abusive her father-in-law was towards her mother-in-law. All I could think about was, that's going to be me when I get older. Me nah move go to Mumbai. And this man probably have the same behaviors like him Pupa. And him go beat me up in India. No, sir. Brown, who does not want her current address to be disclosed, says she is at her Jamaican lawyers, who have told her that they're unable to help her because Jamaica has no jurisdiction in India. The Hampton School Pass student explained that she met her husband in 2003 when she was about to graduate. He was 23 at the time, and she explained that he was a sweetheart, the most caring human being she'd ever met. You see how you just never know? Him sweet like a sugar. And him father a beat up him mother. I know that they say the abused do not always necessarily abuse, but you need to know people family first before you have picnic or married, right? Because look at this case. According to Brown, she had been trying to get back her son for quite some time, but again, she's just been having no luck. The man, who she said was a taxi driver in his home country, came to Jamaica to work, but unfortunately lost his job and his work permit, and the work permit was about to expire. She agreed to marry him when he asked her in order to help him stay in Jamaica. He cried when he lost his job, and it broke my heart. The way he talked about his mother and wanting to build a house for her, I felt so sorry for him, so I agreed to get married to him, Brown told the Jamaican Observer. They got married in 2006 when she was 19 years old. She started attending Montego Bay Community College from campus, and shortly after dropped out to work full-time at the store they opened in the seaside town of Negril in 2007. She explained that they had to clear some hurdles to get the location near Alfred's Beach because another Indian business owner tried to get the location by offering more money. And the story just goes on and on. Unfortunately, she is in a major legal battle. For me, He's kidnapped their son. Jamaica has no jurisdiction in India. How is she ever going to get this child back? She said, as a mother, my heart is paining. I am devastated. I've been trying everything. I've asked some friends in India to bring him a bike for his last birthday. And the video they sent me broke my heart because he looked so scared. She's now asking the government to intervene any way they can. People think domestic violence is a joke. Someone even said, I bet you had your baby in Jamaica. I bet you if you had your baby for a Jamaican, you'll never have your son right now because you would have left him and gone, she said. People are very insensitive, right? I'm just happy to make it out of India alive. There were times I felt